They have kidnapped Alfred KETER, former Nandi Hills Member of Parliament. Before we have a look at the clip of that kidnapping, today being a Sunday, let's borrow some words of wisdom from the Bible. Proverbs 29 verse 2, King James Version. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bereave rule, the people mourn. Are Kenyans rejoicing or mourning? It's a fact. Across the country, Kenyans are mourning. That only means the wicked are in authority. That's why Kenyans are mourning. If you look at the kidnapping of Alfred KETER, I've made a very interesting observation. As much as Kenyans are also capturing these videos of these kidnappings, it's now also emerging that those kidnapping Kenyans are also capturing these videos and sharing them widely to cause fear, tension, and panic among Kenyans. And that's meant to intimidate government critics. They are sharing these videos also to cause fear and tension so that Kenyans cannot criticize Ruto's government. That's their ultimate goal. But to beat William Ruto in that game, if they kidnap one person, more Kenyans should come out to criticize the government. We should see more Kenyans on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all these social media platforms criticizing the government. If they kidnap one person, more Kenyans should emerge in these platforms. If Kenyans do that, the government will be overwhelmed and eventually Kenyans will have a victory. The main aim and goal here is for Ruto to go. Kenyans no longer have confidence in his rule, so he has to go and let Kenyans elect new leaders. Let's now have a look at that video, after which, as usual here, we are going to dissect it for Kenyans to see what the video means. Have a look at this.
Ni kama amekosa walikuwa wanafuata, si ndio? Ni kama alikosa, si ndio? Walikuwa wanamfuata polepole. Alikuwa amekosa huyu.
Alafu madam kada
alikuwa amekosa.
That's how Alfred KETER was kidnapped. Gang-like style. That's meant to cause fear, panic among Kenyans. They want to silence Kenyans. But just as I've said, if they kidnap one person, more Kenyans should come out to criticize the government. If Kenyans do that, Ruto's government will be overwhelmed and Kenyans will eventually have their victory. A people united can never be defeated. That's what Kenyans should know. This is not the time to keep quiet. This is the time for more Kenyans to come out to speak truth to power. William Ruto's government has to be criticized. And he has to be criticized because he's not delivering on what he promised Kenyans. If Kenyans are quiet, we are just watering and manuring a dictator. And from that video, I've made some very interesting observations which I want to highlight on. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. The first thing I've observed from that video, and I know you might have also realized, there is a person talking in that video saying that labda alifanya makosa. And towards the end of that short clip, the person is laughing. That confirms it to me that that person is happy that Alfred KETER has been kidnapped. That's what I can make of that video. Who are these people happy that Kenyan government is kidnapping its own people? I believe that those might be government agents who maybe they are paid or they are part of the system, or they are just ordinary people who are being used by the system to pass out a message to Kenyans. And the message here is to silence, to threaten, and to intimidate Kenyans. So that person talking might be a paid person or a person in the system who wants to pass a message to Kenyans that to criticize the government ni kufanya makosa. The only makosa Alfred KETER has done is to expose the ills and to criticize Ruto's government. That's the only makosa Alfred KETER has committed. In fact, to be truthful and to be realistic, Alfred KETER has not committed any offense other than to exercise his constitutionally given right to speak truth to power and to criticize the government. The real criminals here are these ones kidnapping innocent Kenyans. In fact, even the courts have pronounced themselves on these kidnappings. But it appears Ruto's government is not listening even to the courts. The courts have said the kidnappings should and must stop. Why is Ruto's government still kidnapping innocent Kenyans? So who are the criminals here? The ones kidnapping Kenyans, and to a larger extent, William Ruto. Those are the real criminals. Alfred KETER hakuna makosa amefanya. And to beat William Ruto in this game, if he kidnaps one person, more people should emerge to criticize the government. Let Kenyans overwhelm this government, because we cannot allow ourselves, over 50 million Kenyans, to be dictated upon by one individual called William Ruto. Power belongs to the people, and people are allowed to exercise that power directly. And that's what Kenyans are doing. They are exercising that power directly. William Ruto and his rogue government should respect the constitution. Yes, that's what I'm seeing here, ladies and gentlemen. And also, if you look at that video, William Ruto's trick is coming out very clearly. His strategy is to silence, intimidate these top leaders. After he has silenced these top leaders, he will now come down to the omenas like us. That's William Ruto's strategy. And the moment it comes down to us, then Kenyans will not be having any person to speak on their behalf. He's starting by first silencing the top leaders, the Alfred KETERs and the rest. And I'm seeing they will also target Miguna. They are looking for those top leaders. After that, they will come to omenas like us. The only strategy and way to beat and to thwart that is for more Kenyans to come out strongly to speak against the government. Let every platform, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, let all these platforms criticize Ruto. We cannot lose our country because of one individual. And from that video, I'm seeing William Ruto is still trying to experiment. We know they are kidnapping them, and then after 2 or 1 days, they are releasing them. William Ruto is still trying to do an experiment. And that only means after he has realized Kenyans, anytime he kidnaps one of their own Kenyans are silent, this government will be kidnapping Kenyans and they will now be going missing. That's what I'm seeing here. Right now, he's still doing an experiment. He's kidnapping people and Kenyans are just quiet. For every person kidnapped, let Kenyans come out. Let's stop William Ruto before he matures into a full dictator. That's what I'm seeing here. William Ruto is trying to expose himself slowly but surely. He is trying to expose himself kidogo kidogo. If Kenyans give him that time and chance, then we are watering and manuring a dictator. That's what is happening here, ladies and gentlemen. I won't also be wrong to say that the gods have blinded William Ruto and they intend to destroy him. Ruto is deaf and blind. He's not listening. He's not seeing. Kenyans and even the international community have warned Ruto's government against this unorthodox means, this extrajudicial means of settling political conflicts. It appears Ruto is not listening. We saw some Kenyans demonstrating at The Hague in the Netherlands, calling for the International Criminal Court to revive the crimes against humanity cases against Ruto. Just as Gen Zs in Kenya succeeded in holding successful protests here in the country, if Ruto is not very careful, the Gen Zs will also succeed in bringing to the attention of the International Court the crimes William Ruto is perpetrating against Kenyans. And we might see a warrant of arrest being issued against Ruto. The Gen Zs have succeeded in Kenya. This war will now cross over to the International Criminal Court, where pressure will be piled on that court to summon Ruto. And I believe that's what Kenyans should start doing going forward. Let the world know what is happening in our country. Yes. So the gods have blinded William Ruto and he's not hearing. That means William Ruto might be a moribund president. That's what I'm seeing here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me stop it there. But as I stop, it's important I repeat this. It's also now coming out very clearly that as Kenyans are also capturing these videos, NIS, all those kidnapping Kenyans, they are also capturing these videos and they are sharing them out to silence and to intimidate Kenyans. And I've just explained that if you listen to that person talking in that video, that's an agent by those kidnapping the innocent Kenyans, which makosa has Alfred KETER committed. The criminals here are the ones kidnapping innocent Kenyans. How ndio wako na makosa? Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.